Well, you can see the color's starting to improve a little bit from the protein, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Here's your little quick tip. If you got any green pop left over from the fall, or any granular starter fertilizer with a high phosphorus, go on and put on your pansies, your flowers, stuff like that. Get them jumping for the springtime. And if you got green pop, what I did was I took 2 ounces per gallon of water per flower bed and just kind of soak it in real good. You wait till you see them next time. You can see right here, I'm going all the way around my edges, giving me a foot wider area. So I'm just kind of bringing my beds out just a touch. And you can see over here, this is where I began working on the outside edge. This was 3 feet. You know, my cryptomeria kind of getting out in the grass a little bit, causing some issues around the edges. So instead of fighting it, I'm going to fix it. And the way I fix it is I made my beds a little bigger. Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. I hope you're having a great day today. I want to welcome you out here to my home. It's about time. I'm gonna mow it today for the first time. Got my protein fertilizer down about 2 weeks ago roughly. Already seeing some good color change in it. Once I mow it, it's really gonna change colors and really gonna take off. You know, I just got back from Philadelphia with, I think I said 22nd in another video, but it's actually the 21st surgery, so I apologize for that. My wife corrected me. And I wanna thank you guys for the comments and the prayers and all that. Surgery went great, absolutely knocked it out of the park. And we're back home and trying to get things back to normal. All right, so let's talk about mowing. It's right around the corner. So the first and foremost thing, as far as I'm concerned, is the health of the turf, okay? You mow it to keep it healthy. What I mean by that is if you allow your turf to get super tall and you go cutting a bunch off at one time, you're gonna stress the turf out, and we don't wanna do that. Let's say you get in the heat of the summer and it's super dry and your grass gets a little brown and a little crunchy and starts going dormant. You don't want to mow it for the health of the turf, right? When you jump on a dormant yard, it's stressed out and going through some problems and ain't getting the water it needs, and you try to mow it, man, you really gonna do some damage in. And another reason to mow, it has to do with the health of the turf, is when you mow, you're telling it to grow, right? Now that's what we're doing here today. Is my first mow of the year. The turf has been kind of asleep. We're in a little dormant state throughout the entire winter. I've intentionally left it bushy and tall and shaggy to protect itself from winter, to protect the ground from winter, all kind of reasons. That's for a different video of why I don't cut my grass during the winter, but I let mine get tall and bushy in the fall going into the winter, and I leave it that way all winter long. And I know some of you can't tolerate that. You have to have that perfect, precise cut throughout the entire winter, either at least have that look. That don't bother me one bit. My number one focus on my turf is the health of the yard. So, you know, routine mowing, you're going to mow it consistently throughout the year, obviously, unless we get into stressful situations, because then you're having a negative impact on the health. But typical mowing, when you're feeding the turf correctly, it's getting some water, and you're keeping disease out of it and all that kind of thing, it's going to grow. And as you mow it, you're encouraging that growth, you're encouraging thickening up, all kind of benefits that come from mowing. And today I'm gonna wake my grass up, okay? I'm gonna mow it for the first time, and what that's gonna do is that's gonna stimulate it. So it's been sitting here during the winter. I haven't mowed it any at all since I think back in December. And when I mow it this first time, it's gonna perk up and be like, hey, somebody wants me to grow. It's time to get growing and time to do my thing. Now, let me give you a little disclaimer on that, okay? I know a lot of you watching, you're from different parts of the country. I'm here in North Carolina. We've had the past 4 or 5 days, we've been mid-50s, pushing 60. The entire week ahead of us, we're hitting 70 degrees, maybe upwards of 75 a couple of days. And so when I get that warm temperatures and all that, that's when I want to wake up my grass, and that's when I want to tell it to grow. Now look, if you're in a place in the country where you're under snow, obviously you can't mow. If you're in a place where your snow and the chance of freeze is gone, but maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks you're going to go back into some super cold weather and super hard freezing, you want to hold off, okay? You want to wait until that weather's at that breaking point and where you're kind of winter's behind you. And you know, you may not be warm yet, but you're on that upward trend, and your weather's progressing and getting better and better and better by the day. That's when you want to start waking that turf up by mowing it the first time. Hey, another reason to mow is to make your yard look good, right? You want it nice and pristine, clean cut, everything, you know, in order. And it's kind of like when you get back from the barbershop and you know, you got that nice new haircut and that nice do, and you can get it all dolled up and all that. I know I need a haircut, you don't have to tell me. But it's kind of like that. When you mow, you make your turf look good. You know, I'm a striping guy, love the stripes in the yard. Yes, I still have the 10% coupon code with Big League Lawns. We're going to do a lot of striping videos this year, and I'm a big fan of stripes in the yard. I know some of you don't like that, and I'm completely okay with it. You'll never hear me tell you that you have to stripe your yard in order for it to look good. That's a personal preference, a personal opinion. It's your yard, your grass, your property. You mow it how you want to mow it. You make it look the way you want it to look. I just so happen to be a striping kind of guy. And look, last but not least, you can't forget about this. Mowing is fun. Mowing is relaxing. Mowing is stress relief. Mowing is all kinds of positive things for you yourself that'll kind of help you get away from the world. You know, you've heard me talk about I'll put my headphones on and get a little praise and worship going, where I'm worshiping the King, where it's nothing but me, my mower, and Jesus. I can forget about everything going on in the world. I can just let it go and forget about it. It's just a way to relax and have a good time. So I'm telling you, and also it's exciting. You know what? I've been thinking about this day for about a month now. It's been in the back of my mind, that first mow, when I get out there and smell that new grass for the first time and cut it, and you get that good aroma of that turf, and it's that freshly cut smell. Man, it ain't nothing like it in the world. I absolutely love it. There's pollen blowing off the trees already. January, February, March. Holy cow. I just saw pollen blowing off the trees. It seemed to be a little early. Look, the maple trees are budding out. I'm telling you. So a few quick things on my mower and what I do to get it ready for the season. Obviously, I want to check all my fluids, oil, hydro fluid, top it off with gas, all that kind of thing. I like to manually clean out from under my deck, and I'll raise the machine up and get up under there with like a spatula, like a putty spatula, and scrape off any of the crap that's left over from last year. And to be honest with you, I probably should have done that last year before I put the mower up, but you know how life goes. And like pull my blades off and sharpen them. About every 5 or 6 times, maybe 7 times, I cut the yard. I'll take the blades off, take them to the shop, sharpen them. And last but not least, I definitely want to check my height of cut. On the side of the mower, it tells me what notch to use to find that 3.5 inch mark. Wright makes an incredible machine, a great product, and I've found that the measurements actually line up with what the actual height of cut is, but I'm just anal, and I like to actually physically check the blade height from the ground, and just to make sure I'm at the right height of cut that I'm wanting to be at. All right, there you go. She mowed up nice. I'm happy now. I got my color back. I don't know if you noticed in the mowing footage, but did you see how the brown magically went away? And there's the green. That's what I'm talking about, when that winter damage, it's kind of on the top and you get those brown curly leaves and all that. And what's happened is if frost has zapped it, or snow, or hard freezing weather or whatever, that's not its optimum growing condition. So it struggles a little bit during the winter, and it's okay. Once you mow it, there's some color back. And hey, while I'm thinking about it, be sure and subscribe and get on my email list. I've got that Allett reel mower that I'm going to give away. It's a battery powered little small Allett reel mower, and I just don't use it anymore. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, get on my email list, that's in the description, and it won't be too much longer. I'll do that drawing and we'll give that mower away, and I'm gonna pay the shipping on it to you and everything. Heck, if you're close enough to me, I'll just drive it over to your house. So this is kind of where the winterizer is kind of important from last year. I put the Protein 19019. The plant's gonna use some of that back in December, gonna store a lot of that up and release it when it's time for it to wake up in the spring, which is now. And then about a couple of weeks ago, I put my 2005 protein down, and that's gonna kind of take me up into the summer. So the combination of those two fertilizers from back in the winter or early winter, and my spring application, and mowing, and warm weather, and the ground warming up, the biology coming to life. And that's kind of how your fertilizer and all starts kicking in gears, is the biology in the ground starts doing its thing and making all this available to the plant. And then your grass starts greening up, and you're mowing and it's turning greener, and you're mowing some more and it's turning greener. And oh man, and you know where I'm going, man, I love that stuff. So I'm excited. So I'll probably cut it again in about 4 days maybe, and by then it will have grown some, because like I said, we're going to be really nice this week, 70 degrees and higher for the most part, so she should take on off then. Say again, I appreciate you taking time out of your day. Hope this helped you with when to start mowing, and how to kind of go about the whole process and everything. And keep this in mind, once you start mowing, it's on like a pot of neck bone in, right? We're going to be rocking and rolling, and then once you cut it one time, you're telling it to grow, you're asking it to wake up, and that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to wake up and take off, especially if you got good fertilizer in the ground. And we do have that here, so I'm looking for nothing but good things this year. Appreciate you watching. I'll check you later.